Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another Social Sports Pad podcast.
Yeah!
I'm your host, Ricky. With me is Ben and my brother, Jason, the Cobra. Alongside us today is Alex from all the way in Houston. We are going to talk some football. Week 13 is in the books, and week 14 is just around the corner. The playoffs are getting ready to fill up in full gear. Let's get on. All right, so everybody say hi.
Hey, how's it going?
What's cracking?
Right, that was Alex, that was Ben, and
Yo, what's up, guys?
that was the Cobra. All right, so basically what went down, your winners last week, Buffalo was over New England, Pittsburgh beat the Falcons, Baltimore beat the Broncos, Green Bay beat the Bears, Detroit whooped Jacksonville ass, Cleveland whooped up on Houston, only on defense. Minnesota beat the Jets, making them suck. The Commanders and the Giants tied. Philly whooped up on Tennessee. Seattle beat the Rams. The Garoppolo-less Niners beat the Dolphins. The Bengals beat the Chiefs. The Raiders staying hot over the battery warning Los Angeles. The Cowboys beating the Colts like they stole something, and Tom Brady working that last-minute magic against the New Orleans Saints.
Fuck.
All right, so out of all the games, what games really stood out for you guys? I'll give you up till Ben, I want you to go first, then I want Alex, and then Cobra. What games stood out for you? And yeah, we'll go from there. Ben?
Well, I mean, the Washington game was pretty interesting. They fought, man. That was like a gladiator match. New team. Both teams wanted to win. They didn't want to give it up. What else? The Baltimore and Denver game. Where are the teams? They don't exist, I guess. Like I was saying, Baltimore has no identity. We all know Denver doesn't. And I guess the Eagles stomping up on Tennessee.
All right, Ben or Alex.
So my own game. At least we didn't let them score on offense.
Sounds about right.
No.
Yeah, you take them defensive and special team scores away. Houston won.
Another game would have been Chiefs-Bengals. That was a good game. 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes.
Right back. Hold on, I'm stepping out for a minute.
All right.
And then another one would be Niners-Dolphins. So I guess the Niners still can make the playoffs with someone way worse than Jimmy.
Yeah.
That offense, yeah, you would kind of expect like anybody, like I could play quarterback of the 49ers right now and win a couple of games with the Niners. I mean, how hard is it to turn and hand the ball off to McCaffrey? How hard it is to run a jet sweep to Debo? You know, different elements like that. And with that defense is set up for anybody to win in 49ers. They're definitely, in my opinion, the most dangerous team in the NFC. Anybody without that?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I would say they are.
Oh, no, I'm not even there yet. Yeah, we're still on Alex.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. He just, his third game was the, 49ers and the Dolphins. You came back just in time. It is Cobra time.
All right. So first off, let's get the out of room and let's talk about that Sunday night game, the Dallas-Indianapolis, because Dallas literally took Indianapolis, put them on, and took out their belt and just proceeded to whip them.
like, seriously.
That was all in the fourth quarter. By the way,
I mean, you play 60 minutes of the game.
that's it.
That's
the first game.
I mean, Dallas. Dallas in the fourth quarter was like, the fourth quarter was like, Daddy's home.
Exactly. You spilled my beer and beat your ass so hard, the Child Protective Service ain't gonna save your ass.
Ooh. Damn. All right, next game.
Next game. Washington and New York, because I watched that with my future wife, my fiance, and I saw that game, and I was like, when I see Ricky, motherfucker, you need to pick up that damn phone.
Yeah.
Pretty much called it to the T, with the exception of the finish, because I don't think any of us expected the tie. So again, he called it. Listen to the podcast, by the way. Listen to the podcast of week 13. He called it damn near to the letter. And I've got to say is Detroit. I called that one. Talk about a team that has fight. That is the Lions.
Yeah.
I said it before, said it again. Detroit Lions will run through hell for Dan Campbell. Because the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're still trying to figure this whole football thing out.
I wouldn't even go as far as that. Like,
Jacksonville's a year behind, brother. Set that team back.
A few years. Yes. Urban Meyer set that team back.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
He
Jacksonville also over, even before that, they have not done their team or a good service. All right.
What do you think of former player Uche Nwaneri watching the game?
Well, I mean, it's again Jacksonville's leadership, ownership, management. They do not play this. They do not handle the game as if to win. All right, Jacksonville through years. All right, their identity. All right, and trust me, I bet everybody here, when they close their eyes and think of the Jacksonville Jaguars, you guys look at Fred Taylor, Maurice Jones-Drew,
Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell. You think of a nasty, tough Jaguars team.
Yeah.
All right. This team is not tough. It is not nasty. It is not going to punch you in the mouth.
It's definitely
right. We'll be throwing Orange Cassidy out.
Let him have it.
It's
again,
a tabby cat currently.
It seems like
they are the Jacksonville Tabbies.
Better wrestling promotion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Tabby Cats is what their new name is now.
But I mean, game stood out to me. I mean, looking into this before anything else. All right, the games that were going out to me were Cincinnati, Kansas City, San Francisco, Miami, and the Minnesota Jets game. All right, and in my opinion, each of those games should have been flex night, not Dallas and Indy. All right. But I mean, I'll have to look back into it and see. Actually, I think flex starts this week.
It's looking like that's
like it should have. Like those games should have been flexed. Like needs to look at move back. It's just like how they need to start looking at the buys. Like no team was on buy this past week. Why do we have buys this week and buys next week? Like
the flex is going to the Buffalo Miami game, and they're probably flexing that to Saturday night. That's what I have seen.
Oh no! You're talking about next week, not week 14, week 15. Yeah. Okay, week 15. That's a little ways away. Buffalo plays the Jets this week.
Will they lose again?
No.
Not in Buffalo.
Not in Buffalo.
Not in Buffalo. I'm going to limb and say that the Bills do not lose a game the rest of the year. Have to.
Yeah, because they've got 3 division opponents.
Yeah, well, 3 division opponents. They have the Bears and they have Cincinnati.
Yep.
All right, so the Bills need to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the games that stood out for me of this week's games. I liked Minnesota and the Jets. It was a very competitive matchup. Kudos to each of the teams. The Vikings have a knack for close games in the AFC East, it looks like, this year. But ultimately, from all of these games, injuries. Injuries definitely raised a lot of question marks. And even some not, injuries. It's time for the end of the Marcus Mariota comebacks in Atlanta. And for Mac Jones in New England. Can Baltimore handle offense with Tyler Huntley? Are they going to turn to somebody not Russell Wilson?
Can I answer those questions? Yes. No.
Okay. I mean, it's the where teams will start to next year. And coaching changes. We see a lot more firings,
and a lot.
Thankful
draft positions. People who are not in contention for playoffs to be fighting for draft positions. To play spoilers.
I would say more spoiler than tanking position.
Yeah.
All right. Because and this I would love for an NFL ear to hear. If any team goes out there to tank, then you need to surrender your fucking paycheck because you to win. I do not care if it is week 1 or week 18 to win. I don't. The 1-10-1 Houston Texans or the 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles. You play the game to win. You do your best to win. And if you play because I want that first pick in the draft, then go yourself.
Time to institute draft lottery.
Yeah. You're saying there need to be implement a potential draft lottery.
MLB is doing it today.
I mean,
but I would definitely set a ground rule on that. Basically, it had to be the 4 teams. The 4 teams,
I mean,
basically, the top 4 teams are disqualified from the draft lottery. Top 4. What do
you mean top 4 teams?
Like the playoffs teams. Like if you made
it like who wins, second place, and then third, fourth.
No. Okay. Yeah. So here's what you do with here's what you do. All right. 2 teams from the AFC, 2 teams from the NS, or even like the worst 10 teams, and you basically send some people to Super Bowls being played, and instead of the Pro Bowl being played before the Super Bowl, all right, the Pro Bowl games, all right, you make it a competition almost like the quarterback club, with the low teams and play for that top spot. Does that sound good?
That sounds better than what they have right now as far as Pro Bowl.
I mean, we've covered the Pro Bowl in this podcast.
Yeah.
All right. How the Pro Bowl, instead of being at the end of the year, should be the absolute first game of the season. That Hall of Fame game needs to be the Pro Bowl because most of those guys on that Pro Bowl are going to be in freaking Canton.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
basically,
they're going to be there already.
Yeah. Yeah. And basically,
So why not play there?
if you win the 2022, you are in a Pro Bowl for 2022. 2023 first game of preseason, that's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean that would get rid of all the I'm in the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna not be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we've gone off track long enough, guys. Basically, I'm gonna kind of pull some teams out of the hat. And basically, I want you to buy or sell them playoff chances. All right, based on how they are right now. The first name I am drawing out of this hat is Baltimore. Do you buy or sell their chances of making the playoffs? All right, we'll start with Ben and we'll work around. Ben?
Chances to make the playoffs for Baltimore?
Yep. Do you see them making the playoffs?
Buy or sell?
Buy or sell?
Sell.
You're gonna sell? All right. Do you have a reason, or is that what your gut says?
That team has no identity. They're lost. That team just relies on Lamar Jackson, and that's it.
All right.
There's nothing
Alex?
there.
I say buy.
All right, you're buying them. All right. What's your thought on it?
What's your thought? Tyler Huntley should maintain the ship. He'll be way more consistent than Lamar, just not as explosive, unfortunately.
Okay. Cobra, buy, sell?
I'm selling, I'm selling it, and I'm sealing it brick by brick by a cask of Amontillado. Seriously, look, Huntley has a record. He has a record 0 wins in the NFL. 0 wins. No, I do not believe he'll right the ship here. Sell.
He won Sunday.
Sell. He's not. I'm talking about a start. I'm not talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
Sell. Sell.
All right. So I'm selling the Baltimore Ravens. My reasoning behind it is one, their offense is not explosive at all. It's not consistent. All right, that's the problem that Baltimore's had all year is their consistency. Kenyon Drake, when he would fill in, you would get either, I'm running for 150 yards and 2 scores, or I'm giving you 17 rushing yards. All right, and their defense only plays about 50 minutes of that game, of each of their games. I'm actually absolutely surprised that Denver didn't score 20 points because of how Baltimore has just let things slip away. All right. Next, we're going to go to New Jersey. New Jersey. And actually, this is a twofer. I want you to buy or sell the Jets and the Giants. Do you think that they will make the playoffs? Ben?
The Jets, buy. No, sell. Sell hard, sell.
All right. Any reason?
They're the Jets.
Okay, that's a good enough reason. And the Giants, buy or sell?
Buy, because I think all 4 teams in the NFC East are going to get into the playoffs because I don't see, well, now I think the chances of the 49ers' chances of getting into the playoffs have diminished. So it's a toss-up between either the Seahawks or the 49ers, but I don't see them beating up the Giants for the last spot in the wild card.
All right. Alex?
I say buy on the Jets because of their defense.
Fair. Defense wins championships. And the Giants?
And the Giants will barely miss out. So
Okay.
they have been losing steam in these past weeks.
Fair. All right. Cobra?
I am selling the Jets not making the playoffs. They are not making the playoffs. I am selling that faster than I am selling the best of Magdalene St. Michael's to Zach Wilson. So, and I am buying on the Giants making the playoffs.
Why?
Why? Because just because I think they're better, just because of how unfortunately top heavy the NFC is. I see him absolutely making the playoffs.
Okay. So I am selling both teams.
Okay.
All right. I'm selling the Jets because their weakness lies in the most important position in football. It's at the quarterback position. The quarterback play of both Zach Wilson and Mike White over time. The game film will show.
Even Joe Flacco.
Yeah, even so. But right now, the Jets' offensive woes is going to curtail what their defense can make of them. The Giants, their receiving core is absolutely riddled with injury. All right, you need to push the ball down the field, and that's kind of the case of what happened against Washington this past week. If Danny Dimes was able to push that ball down, we wouldn't be talking about a 2020 tie. We would talk about how the Giants were able to whoop up on that Commander S. All right, well, that was definitely kudos on the Commanders on their defense. All right. So from there, I want to go to San Francisco.
It just goes to show you that the Jets always walk into the season like Buddy Holly and ends up being the day the music died.
Ooh.
Plane crash.
I was going to say go down like, Kobe Bryant in a helicopter. But, hey.
Dude.
Anyway.
Another
San Francisco.
crash.
All right, so San Francisco, are we buying or selling Brock Purdy, leading them to the playoffs? Ben?
Selling.
You're selling?
Yeah,
right.
go Seahawks. They're not going to make it with the quarterback. Rookie quarterback, everybody's going to figure him out. The only reason why they won is because they didn't have any tape on the guy. It's going to catch up. The defense can only carry it for so long, and McCaffrey can only carry it for so long. It's not going to work. And they didn't go after Baker, so they have no legitimate starter.
Alex?
After this great win, they should keep it going to the playoffs. Now, they're probably not going to lose in the second round, but they should make the playoffs. So, bye.
Okay. Any reason or just, mo?
The reason they have, so the deficiency is QB. Thankfully, it's just QB. Everything else on offense is top tier.
Yep.
The only thing is, handoffs are easy and just making easy passes for him to make. That's the only thing they would have to do.
Pretty much, Cobra?
Definitely buying. I definitely think. Let me say this openly on you, Ben. I do not think that getting Baker. Not getting Baker Mayfield was actually the best move the San Francisco 49ers could have done. Because
they showed restraint.
Because Baker looks like absolute. He looks like shit. This was even before he even stepped on the field with the Panthers. I really think he fucked something up when he messed up his elbow and played through it. I think he fucked something up, and now his confidence is shot. I don't think having him under center in the 49ers would have changed anything. I think it would have actually doomed him.
Okay. So basically, I am buying the 49ers making the playoffs. I think of the NFC teams, they are the most rounded. Their offense, I could play quarterback for the 49ers and win 3 of the next 5 games. All right. Do I see them winning the NFC West? No. I definitely see the Seahawks walking away with that division. I definitely take them over to the Giants as one of the wild card teams. My case in point is their offense is just way too dynamic. You have Christian McCaffrey, you have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk,
Kittle.
It's just, God, I didn't even have to mention Kittle.
No.
All right, to talk about explosive.
Yeah.
All right. How are you as a defense going to actually, protect against that? You can't. All right. I mean, they'll probably lose a couple of games because of some decision makings at quarterback. But, Purdy was actually making some pretty throws. He was able to be accurate. Unlike, if they'd gone after Baker Mayfield. Like, Baker would have probably threw like 20 miles away from his receivers. He'd have more luck throwing into the stands than he would hit with his targets. All right. And that defense, it bends, but it doesn't break. Like Miami's offense, it had Tua. It had Tyreek Hill. That Raheem Mostert. It
had Waddle.
Like, Waddle did like nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
I can't say anything else. Like, San Francisco is definitely the most dangerous team in the NFC. People want to talk about Dallas. No, San Francisco is the team you need to watch out for. All right, and last but not least, we are going to talk about Vegas. Do you buy or sell Vegas making the playoffs? Ben?
Vegas making the playoffs?
Yup.
No, absolutely not. That's a circus town. They can't even afford to fire their own coach. No, absolutely not.
Alex?
Yeah, they will not make the playoffs. They will be in the top 5 of the draft. That's what's going to happen to them. And it's because of their coach. I don't know how they ruined Devontae Adams' first year there, but they did it. And that sucks for him.
They did it. Surprise!
All right. So,
I never bought the Raiders to begin with. You should have kept Bisaccia, Mark Davis, you fucking idiot!
Though, I don't know, did you see the person he was with at the game? I need to learn some of his riz. But again, that riz might be just money. So just earn money.
Like, seriously, Rich Bisaccia, when he had the Raiders, and unfortunately inherited it in unfortunate circumstances. Hey, you couldn't help that the coach you put $100 million in a stake in ownership and turned out to be a fucking idiot racist. You didn't
Plus
expect
players doing crimes.
Yeah, and then you have your rookie receiver kill a woman. So no, I never bought the Raiders to begin with. I will still never buy the Raiders. The only way the Raiders are going to get any respect from me is if Mark Davis sells the fucking team. Like, he is another person who needs to get to relinquish ownership. Seriously.
All right. So me, I'm selling. Like, quite honestly, of the 5 and 7 teams, they are definitely they're definitely not the one I think of having a potential shot at making the playoffs. That would go to the Browns.
No, that's going to the Steelers! Steelers! Because they'll luck into some bullshit, some Yinzer magic, some stupid ass bullshit, and Tomlin will still keep his fucking job.
Oh no, Tomlin's
They'll
keeping
still
Tomlin
make
Charlie.
it with
But
a
no,
winning record.
I mean, I'm just saying of those three teams, the Raiders, the Browns, and the Steelers.
Yeah.
All right, in order: Cleveland, Vegas, and Pittsburgh. All right, that's how I see them.
Yeah.
All right, Pittsburgh is not dynamic enough on offense.
Hell no.
All right, the Browns got better on offense. All right, and the Raiders are
Just
the
not on
Raiders.
Sunday.
They're too injury, they dug themselves too deep in a hole in the beginning of the season for them to ever count. All right, the injuries that they, losing Renfro, losing Waller, as long as they did, that hurt more than any coaching or anything like that. All right, that's what hurt them. It wasn't the fact that Josh McDaniel, is a coordinator, not a head coach. It did more for them than, Josh Jacobs not being able to run in the beginning. No, it was just the way the injury bug crumbles. Every game is important. A lot of people, I was at the bar watching football games on Sunday, and somebody mentioned, oh yeah, like the first few games of the season don't matter. They're just tune-up games. No, every game matters.
Every game matters. Every game. Don't
All right.
care. Because if you lose those first 3 games, you dug yourself a hole deep.
You can come out of it.
You're on
Texans did it.
technically on the outside looking in.
Like if Washington wouldn't have lost this game,
you gotta have all your cards just line up correctly.
Like if Washington didn't lose all those games when Wentz played, we would have been second place probably.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look up. There are actually 3 clinching scenarios this week.
There's
Vikings
coming up. Yeah, I think it's the
Vikings, Eagles.
As the Chiefs. I know, and I remember seeing like the Chiefs if they win and the Chiefs they clinched the AFC West with a win and a Chargers loss. All right, so the Chargers got the Dolphins. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
especially because the Chiefs got the Broncos. Like they're gonna stomp a mud hole in Denver.
And I did say a couple weeks ago that the Cardinals was going to be the last win the Chargers would get this season.
We'll see about that. And then next we have the Minnesota Vikings. They're in with a win, against the Lions. I mean, that might not happen, but they might, be fun to watch. And then
Eagles.
And then the Eagles, they beat the Giants, or if San Francisco and Seattle both lose. So that's be nice. Nice to see. Do you think any of those do not happen this week? And I'm asking all you guys. You can pipe in whenever you want. Do you see any of those 3 scenarios not working?
I only see one potentially. And that is the Vikings and Lions.
Yeah.
That is the only one.
Yeah.
I think with the way, the Lions right now, they're playing at a top form. World Cup time, guys. Definitely, speaking of that, top form with the Lions, they could definitely upset the Vikings. But yeah, speaking of the World Cup, go to fanatics.com through our affiliate link. Get yourself some official national team kit.
Namor's back. Get a Namor jersey.
And for Broncos country, really represent your team. Get yourself this Broncos branded trash can.
Oh,
Broncos
yay!
That's right.
Jersey on your ex-wife.
Yo!
All right.
Jeez.
Just say. But yeah, man. So yeah, we're at the halfway. Well, not really halfway point of the show, but we're definitely at a point in the show. Definitely need to revamp our energy. With us, we have a couple of options on your energy needs. We have W Energy. Go to their website, put in the code SSPP10, they get 10% off of your order. You get the America's 2022 video game energy drink of the year. And Ben, you want to give the other one?
Yeah, man, go to our link in the below. Go to Bulletproof's website. Not only do they sell K-Cups coffee, they sell grounded coffee. They don't only just sell coffee, they also sell gummies. So when you're watching your favorite team like the Broncos, God forbid, I'm sorry, I apologize, they have gummies for you to stay awake, give you energy.
Or the Texans.
Or have some Texans too. So if you want to go to sleep while the Texans are playing, like Cosby puts in his little Jello shots,
get that cup of coffee in the big time, yeah.
That sounded more like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, we don't want Macho Man Bill Cosby.
That would be very scary.
That's scary. Not only put you to sleep, you'll.
Yeah, that's more of a Hulk Hogan thing. Yeah.
Fuck.
I have a visual in my head now. Thanks.
Oh God. But yeah. So finally, last thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the Baker Mayfield being claimed by the Rams. Like for me, that just seemed like a little bit of a boneheaded decision. Seeing as the Rams are actually out of the playoffs right now. They have not just out of the playoffs right now, but they have no shot of really getting into the playoffs. So why make a move for a quarterback? Just go ahead and work with what you got.
They're planning for the future.
Ben, you mind if I chime in on this situation? I think I had the answer.
Go ahead.
I think the key answer as to why the Rams made this decision is because they did it to themselves by saying, fuck them picks.
They sold their soul for one ring. Just one ring.
Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, they had the ring.
Yeah, and that's all they'll get. But then again, when you say fuck them picks, you have to rebuild somehow. And why not go after the Browns and Panthers sloppy thirds?
I
mean, give them time. They'll probably get Josh Rosen.
Now, the reason why I think is a boneheaded.
What happened to Josh Rosen? He disappeared.
I think he was on. I think he went to Miami.
No, I don't think he's on Miami's practice squad. No.
Well, while I talk, Ben, you want to go ahead and look that up, see where Josh Rosen is?
I sure can.
But, for me, what the Baker Mayfield move indicates for me is the potential that the Rams are possibly going to move on from Matt Stafford.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's going to retire.
I don't think he's going to retire.
I think so.
I don't. I think he might go to the Colts.
Go to the Colts.
No. He's going to retire.
He's with the Cleveland Browns.
The Colts are going to ruin another quarterback from the draft.
Apparently, Josh Rosen's with the Browns.
So Josh Rosen's with the Browns?
Oh, he's with the Sean Cosby. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably waive him.
Yeah, they'll probably.
Like for me, yeah.
Actually, he might not even have a team.
I mean, they could have just released him. I mean, most teams only carry like two quarterbacks on the roster. Hey, it is what it is. I definitely don't see Baker starting. If they do play, I mean, yeah, especially because the Rams play Thursday.
Yeah, they play Thursday against the Raiders.
So
Yeah, like that would be.
Ball.
Oh, that would definitely be Tankman right there. Putting a guy that you just got today on the field effectively. Yeah, Thursday.
Hey guys,
after
it is
2
time. I'm
games.
gonna be a dad. Not today, bitch.
But no. But yeah. I definitely see Baker if he does be a glorified backup. He will be. I'm stalling for time when I bring up the Ram schedule. Stalling for time. He will probably. Oh yeah, that will be that. That's a wonderful choice game. He will probably start and win week 16 when they play the Broncos at home
On Christmas, the Gentlemen Broncos.
Dang, imagine losing on Christmas.
Goes.
Let's
Oh my
ride.
God.
So, if you don't mind, Ricky, I want to ask this question.
What's up?
So injuries have obviously cropped up.
Yeah.
Do you think the NFL needs to increase the size of the roster?
No.
You don't think so?
No. There is another thing that they ought to do, and in my opinion, all right, the USFL and the XFL.
That's where I was coming from with this.
All right. So, in my opinion,
Combine.
What?
Combine.
Basically,
USFL, XFL, combine.
Use them
pretty much
as a farm system.
Well, yeah, sort
As
of.
call-ups.
Almost like the practice squad.
Yes.
All right. They would be the places where the guys that the Martavius Bryants, the Josh Rosens, those kind of guys, the guys that would
Paxton
be your
Lynch.
Wait, Martavis Bryant is still around?
Yeah, he was actually drafted by an XFL team round. But yeah, you basically have each team adopt, almost like Major League Baseball has the minor league teams. Basically those guys will be playing under that team there. It would be a place for those guys that get cut to go ahead and
I will say to that,
What?
if you're gonna do it like that, I would say that if they are a part of the practice squad for any team, they should wear an NFL patch, like they did in NFL Europe.
I mean, yeah, like that would be nice.
Just
well,
like, hey,
no, okay. So, also my opinion with it. All right, their season, the last game of their season should be almost like their Super Bowl, a USFL team versus an XFL team.
Yep.
Pre-merger.
For all the marbles, it takes place the week before the start of college football season.
Yeah, but they have no relationship to each other, though.
They need.
That's what I mean. Both teams or both leagues.
I mean, you could make it like the NFL, like.
They originally came on to be like other options for the NFL.
Yeah.
But in order for both to survive, like the XFL was great before COVID happened. And how many games did they play? 3? Before they decided, hey, we're going to pack it in because COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
All
like
right.
4.
US or was it the AAFL?
No, it was the
XFL.
It was XFL was 3 games.
Yeah, the other one.
Oh yeah, All American.
That was
the
2019.
Allied American
Those, they folded.
Yeah.
All right. So, not going to lie, any started up anything needs to find something to coincide with.
Yeah.
And the NFL also needs to kind of adopt a little bit to help further their game.
Yes.
All
Well,
right,
they're supposed
because
to.
you mean to tell me that in July I'm going to carry 90 guys and then scrap them all in September to go down to 52?
53. Now,
Yeah.
but at 75, actually, they have 75 because they have the rest on practice squad.
Oh yeah, practice squad.
And that's why I said up the roster to 80.
And even then,
Yeah.
okay,
But
and even then, with 53, you also have like 8 guys that don't show up to play the game at all.
I miss
First off, you need to
kind of
scrap that
hamster.
inactive.
Yeah.
The inactive, the healthy inactive.
Yes.
All right. You don't, unless a guy is injured.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be there. You should be able to have a full 52, 53, or run into a situation like, didn't Washington have like only 4 active linemen? Because like 2 guys got hurt 1 week last year, and they had to use a tackle guard. Or some shit like that.
Or you run into a situation similar to like in the NHL where Tampa Bay actually manipulated the IR system to keep themselves under the cap for playoffs.
Yeah, the financials don't really need to fucking do
Right.
it.
But you know what I'm saying.
But I mean, there's just different things that basically having the XFL and the USFL, those leagues around and keeping them around would be beneficial for the entire football game.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I think everybody would agree with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right?
The NFL has needed a farm system.
They need something. They used to have the Europe League, and then they got rid of it.
Well, Europe was unsustainable. I
loved it.
What they've done now with the international games, they could possibly and potentially put an NFL Europe system in place.
Absolutely. But Europe was ahead of its time. Anywho,
but something needs to be done.
Yes.
Okay. For the NFL.
Yeah.
Because the injury bug does hurt everybody. I also think the bye system needs to be more addressed. I think scheduling just in general needs to be better addressed.
And and field turf issues need to be addressed too.
Just overall quality, of the product.
Yes.
I mean, how many times this year has there been like, oh, there's like 9 matchups at 1:00, but only like 3 at 4? I want to be able to have, an option other than, oh, let me watch the Lions and the Cardinals, or do I want to watch the Cowboys?
Yeah,
I want to be able to have a little bit of variety.
It would be nice to have more games on TV.
Yeah, like instead of
especially local games that we get blacked out on, like Philly and Washington, or vice versa.
I mean, honestly, why do we even have a blackout? All right, is in America the second most popular.
You know why we have a blackout? Networks. It is not.
The cable channel.
That is why.
I mean, still, more people would watch the Denver Broncos and the Colts play every week at 4:00.
Do you think the FCC cares about what the people want?
No.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, I would rather watch I would rather watch replays of the Colts and the Broncos than the World Rodeo Series.
Hey, Ricky.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's because of where you live. Come down here, rodeo is big time.
I mean, I'm just saying, I can hang on for longer than 8 seconds.
That's what she said.
He actually participated in little bull riding.
Either way.
Either way, we're getting a little long in the tooth.
We are. We're getting off track. We're getting Cosby drinks in our broadcast right now. So
you better look at yellow, please.
Don't come
Alright,
for me to
so basically anything anything else before we kind of say about one of our new shows that we're gonna have basically up until the end of the regular season of football, which I totally want to make that announcement now, that we are going to have a fantasy football perspective starting with this week, week 14, as most fantasy leagues are gearing up for the playoffs. We want to be there to kind of help you make those last minute decisions to try and win yourself a championship. So feel free to join myself, Ben, the Cobra, and any of our wonderful guests that join us during those broadcasts as we answer your questions and various other questions involving fantasy on that show. On that note, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Cobra. Anything you guys want to add?
My team has been eliminated.
Yeah,
Your team was never in it from the hop, Alex.
That is true. My team was
yeah,
never.
the Texans and the Bears have been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. All right. Again, there's 4 weeks left.
Symbol of excellence, brother. The symbol of excellence.
Broncos.
Wonderful people at Most Extreme
That's
Elimination
right.
Challenge to say,
Don't get eliminated.
Eliminated.
All right.